Good afternoon. You're listening to KSVR 91.7 FM Mount Vernon, KSVU 90.1 FM Upriver Radio Hamilton and Concrete, and KSJU 91.9 FM Friday Harbor, Washington. Thank you so much for joining us here on this Friday afternoon. I'm Gregory Sweet. I'm here most Friday afternoons from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m. We've got a good show for you today. I've got a guest artist from the Seattle area who I've been real anxious to have come up and talk with us and play some of her music. Denise Glover is here with us, and we'll have you introduced to her and some of her music in just a minute here. I want to make real quickly an announcement to make sure that I get this out real good. The 6th annual KSVU Halloween Dance and Fundraiser is going to be Saturday, October the 29th from 6 to 10 o'clock p.m. at the Marble Mount Community Hall. 6 to 7 o'clock p.m. a potluck supper. 7 to 10 p.m. a live music by local bands, Undecided and Jumble Pie. All night ongoing raffle of items and local services. Costumes are encouraged. Suggested donation at the door is $8 per person or $15 a couple, and kids 12 and under are free. For more information or to donate a raffle item, call KSVU at 853-8588 and leave a message. Real important to let you know that being a volunteer and a member of KSVU, these folks work really, really hard to keep Upriver Radio on the air. So although we're simulcasting on all three of them, this is one where the volunteers really go out to keep music on the air, 7/24. Well, let me go ahead and turn my background music down here, and I want to turn on the other mic here. Can you hear me okay, and can I hear you, Denise?
I can hear you.
I need to bring you up just a little bit, I think,
I'm on 3, remember?
Well, that's the reason I can't hear you. It'd be nice if I
There
turned
we
on the...
go.
Yeah, now we're on the right one.
Good thing you have me here to remind you.
You know,
right?
it is. It certainly is, Denise. Thank you so much. Denise sent some music to us from her brand new CD here back in the spring, I guess it was. And Denise is from the Seattle area. What would you call it? South King County?
South King County.
Yeah. She divulged to me today that she's really a Yankee from New York. But she's lost that New York accent, that's for sure. Your new CD is called Pathways, and you're also part of another band that I didn't know about until today.
Yes.
And that particular band is called Rossin in the Air, and Air has an E on the end of it, and that CD is called Good Times in the Homeland, and we're going to play something from that in a couple minutes as well. You know, one of the things that I wanted to ask you, I was listening, I guess it was about 3 weeks ago, Jack Timchin came out with a new CD, and I've told my listeners that's not a name that you hear a lot of, but you know his music because he wrote a lot of music for the Eagles. And 40-year career. And he was talking about the songwriting process, and I knew that when you came here, this is one of the things that I wanted to ask you about is what goes through your mind when you're when a song pops into your head? How do you capture that for the moment?
Well, that's a great question. So I find that songs come in very different ways. They don't all arrive in the same sort of manner. Some songs, you know, lyrics come and rhythm for the lyrics will come, and sometimes the music will come first. Sometimes some songs it takes me, you know, a long time to write. Some songs you complete them in a day. So it really varies a lot. I think a lot of what I do when I write songs is I use imagery and I use stories to incorporate into what I'm writing about. Sometimes I'm writing about, you know, an experience or a person or a conglomerate. You know, sometimes it's not just one person. It's sort of aspects of different people that I sort of make into a character or something like that. So I think I use a lot of my senses when I'm thinking about songwriting. I'm thinking about visuals and storytelling and that sort of stuff.
That's great. I know that Timchin said that he always carries a pad of paper and a pen with him because he said that they come to him so quickly. And like you said, you know, just it may take only a few minutes to a few hours, and then he may labor on it for months.
Right.
But he said people will ask him, how do you write a song? And he said, I don't answer that question. He said, what I do is I say that I carry around something so that I can capture that thought, because
Right.
he said once it's gone,
Yeah.
he said then it's to come back at another time or maybe never again.
Right.
And so he has to
Yeah.
get it while he can, and then at least he's got some semblance of something down. And I was really glad to hear how you did that, because that question fascinated me. It really did. I thought it was great.
Yeah, it's best.
Well, I want to play, with your permission, of course, the my favorite song on the album.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know, would you call this progressive bluegrass? I'm not quite sure,
Yeah, sure.
Roots,
Sounds good.
yeah.
I'll go with that.
Roots, progressive bluegrass, whatever. But
Yeah.
the title is really catchy. It says, "If I'd been born in another place,"
Right.
and I really like that. So let me put this up on CD2, crank it up, and let's listen to it.
If I'd been born in another place, never would have seen your handsome face. If I'd been born in another time, you would never have been mine. So let us thank the stars above tonight. Dance beneath that evening light. Oh love, my heart I give all to you. Please don't ever make me blue. You'd pass me by that summer day. To each other we'd have nothing to say. If I didn't call you on the telephone, I'd be here singing all alone. So let us thank the heavens above tonight. Kiss me that evening light. Oh love, my heart I give all to you. You could never be untrue. So let us thank the stars above tonight. Dance beneath that evening light. Oh love, my heart I give all to you. Please don't ever make me blue. I said please don't ever make me blue.
I like that song a lot, Denise. That's
It's a lively one.
it is indeed. Yeah, that's by far. But there's some excellent songs on here too, and they're not all in this roots vein by any means.
Right.
How would you kind of
Right.
describe your style of music?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I have a hard time describing it. So I go with singer-songwriter because then
Yeah.
you get a lot of leeway.
Yeah.
But, I've been heavily influenced by folk traditions, grew up listening to all sorts of stuff from bluegrass wasn't really so much part of the palette back then, at least where I was living in New England.
Yeah.
but certainly various kinds of folk traditions, and Joni Mitchell, from Joni Mitchell to Neil Young, and then I kind of got interested in bluegrass myself once I hit my 20s and was playing. So I don't know. It's really mixed, and there's lots of influences. There's a song on there that's got kind of a reggae kind of feel.
I like that one very
Deep
much
History.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we play that?
Oh, you want to play that one?
Yeah, actually,
okay.
I kind of do.
Okay.
That's one that I kind of like real well.
Okay. Yeah.
What is the name of that song?
That's
I
called
forget.
Deep History.
Let me look on here and
I
see.
can't
That's
remember what
number
number
5.
it is.
So
Number 5.
All right.
Give it a go.
This is called Deep History, and it's got a bit of a reggae twist to it.
Met my cousin at the top of the ridge. He told me all about our family lineage. 5,000 miles from where I was born lies the foundation of our family home. Our paths may form a crooked line. Our future selves may be so hard to find. But as water flows in great circles, of this I can be sure. All of our paths emanate from the same source. Enough into deep history, you'll find we all share the same family tree. Why all this warring and killing like we are not kin? Embrace your enemy, make him your friend. Our paths may form a crooked line. Our future selves may be so hard to find. But as water flows in great circles, of this I can be sure. All of our paths emanate from the same source. They call her Eve, but she wasn't from no man's rib. She's everyone's mama, and she was African. History that's more than skin deep. Our humanity we must keep. Our paths may form a crooked line. Our future selves may be so hard to find. But as water flows in great circles, of this I can
I like that. I like that a lot, Denise. That kind of reminds me with the roots instruments of having the reggae. There are a few tribute albums that are out there that are like that, and it would fit right in nicely with that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what you got coming up next. You've got a couple gigs here.
Yep. Let's see. So tomorrow night, Rosin in the Air, we have a gig down in Maple Valley.
Okay.
You can check our website if you want more information on that.
What's the name of the venue down there?
It's called Ristretto's.
Okay.
Yep. And then also, I'm playing next month a house concert here in Seattle with Julian Smedley and Carrie Black. We have a trio that playing the stuff that's from the album.
Right.
And if you want information about that, you can check my website, www.deniseglovermusic.com.
By the way, let them know Denise is spelled
with an S,
instead of a C.
D-E-N-I-S-E.
Good,
Yeah.
D-E-N-I-S-E. DeniseGlover.com. That sounds good. You can get a lot of information there. You mentioned Julian Smedley.
Yeah.
And we were talking while the song was playing that when you first sent the CD down, one of the things that I recognized was the production on it. It was just amazing. And, of course, on this last song that we were listening to, the reggae tainted song there, you said he was playing guitar on that as well.
He plays that.
Very multi-talented man.
Oh, he's
isn't he?
amazing. Yeah,
That's for sure.
He's a great person to know.
Well, I think for our last song, what I'd like to do is go over to the other album that's part of your other group that you're with called Rosin in the Air, who's going to, and this CD is called Good Times in the Homeland. And we're going to play a song from that title, just simply, The Homeland. But I know you've got a little story behind that before we spin it, and I'd like to hear it.
Okay, great. So The Homeland, I wrote this about my great-grandmother, her experience leaving Italy. And so she left Italy in 1914 to come to the U.S. She got on a boat in Naples and headed across the ocean.
That's great.
Amazingly brave. But, I think... I grew up with her as my grandmother because my actual biological grandmother had died before I was born. So she was really my grandma. And I didn't know that much about her life before, as most kids don't know about their grandparents' lives before. But I thought about it a lot. The fact that she was from Italy, she was an immigrant. She'd never really learned to speak English terribly well. It was fine. She got by, no problem. But anyway, I thought about that. And my studies in anthropology have looked at the migrant experience in various places in the world. And 10 years after she migrated in 1924 in the U.S., there was the Johnson-Reed Act was passed, which basically banned migration from Asia, and it limited migration from Eastern and Southern Europe. And so I thought about that and how it must have been really hard to be a migrant and missing your homeland and stuff. So I wrote the song. And so it's kind of sad in some ways. But at the end of the song, it's quite positive because my husband and I took our kids to Italy a couple of years ago, and we went to the village where my great-grandmother's from.
Oh, wow.
And we met our family there, and it was really amazing. And I really felt like us going back, especially my kids going back.
Yeah. I
felt like we were sort of reconnecting and sort of healing some, difficulties with being separated from families being separated over over decades of time. So it was almost 100 years later that we went back to Italy. So that song is trying to capture all of that in one song.
Great. That is great. That's for sure. What I'd like to do is be sure and point out again where your next upcoming performances are. Can you bring that one more time up to our audience?
Yes, absolutely. So tomorrow night, which is the 22nd of October, down in Maple Valley, which is South King County.
We like to joke about that.
Yeah, down south. Where Rosin in the Air is playing. We're playing a gig at a place called Ristretto's, and you can check our website if you'd like more information. I think it starts at 7, either 7 or 7:30, I can't remember. And then I'm doing a house concert next, a private house concert. So if anyone's interested, you should go to my website or email me at deniseglovermusic@gmail.com, and I can tell you more about that house concert.
That's terrific. Once again, let's talk about the two albums. The last one that you had out that we just played 2 songs from is called Pathways. And then as our final song today, we're going to play from the CD called Rosin in the Air, Good Times in the Homeland. And this very, very personal song of yours called Homeland. And let our listeners here at KSVR, KSVU, KSJU, and also our people who are streaming on KSVR get a little knowledge about Denise Glover and her music. I hope you've had a good time. I sure am glad that you finally were able to come and see us, and I hope you'll come back and see us again.
Thanks, Greg. I really appreciate it.
Oh, the pleasure's all mine. Here's Denise Glover, and then we'll be back to the show right after that.
And left home on a Sunday. That's when the Lord would give me passage safe. Kissed my pa goodbye, looked my mama in the eye, and I said I will come back to you one day. The sun don't shine as bright as it did in the homeland. The people that I meet don't smile at me. I miss my mama so, she never wanted me to go. But I can't go back to the way it used to be. This new land I've made myself a family. My son is kind, my daughters are strong. Sometimes in the night I get a dreadful fright that I won't get to see my mama no more. The sun don't shine as bright as it did in the homeland. People that I meet don't smile at me. I miss my mama so, she never wanted me to go. But I can't go back to the way it used to be. My progeny are returning. They see the sunshine through young and hopeful eyes. At last my soul can rest, mother tongue in their chests. I've come home, mama, like I said I would. El sole non splende come nella patria. La gente che incontro non mi sorride. Mi manca tanto mia mamma, non voleva che io partissi. Ma non posso tornare a vita qui era. The sun now shines as bright as it did in the homeland. The people that I meet all smile at me. I miss my mama so, she never wanted me to go. But I can't go back to the way it used to be.
That was Denise Glover, and that's from her CD called Rosin in the Air. Great song. I love the explanation. Thanks so much, Denise.